We've also got the former Tottenham winger Andros Townsend with us. And the question is, there's going to be big news speculating, all no doubt throughout the summer, about the future of one former Tottenham player and whether or not he may well retire this summer.
Bale coming forward, Soyuncu's poor clearance, Bale to finish it, he's running all the way through, he's hit the post, he's put in the rebound, it's 4-2, and there's no doubt about it now. Leicester City's heartbreak is complete. It's Leicester 2, Tottenham 4.
Now, there'll be people thinking right now, what are you talking about?
Yes.
Gareth Bale to retire? Well, it's been...
And I'm one of them.
Yes, I know. Actually, both of you looked at me quite shocked. It's been reported this morning that Bale could be considered... I cannot speak. Let's start again. I'm trying to sensationalise something and I've not done a very good job with it. Oh gosh. Right, here we go. It's being reported this morning that Gareth Bale could be considering the sensational step of walking away from football altogether after Euro 2020. Now, if you remember, after the final games of the season, he hinted about his plans for the summer that had already been mapped out. He suggested that he didn't want to share that information just yet because, as he referred to it, it would cause chaos. ABC in Spain are now suggesting that Bale is plotting to bring plotting to bring
I'm going to plot my career.
I know, chaos and plotting. He's plotting to bring a swift end to his illustrious career by negotiating, oh my gosh, put your teeth in, the end of his contract with Real Madrid and walking away from the sport altogether. Now, Andros, you know Gareth Bale.
Barely.
Yeah. Well, you know of him, you know the talk about him. We've all heard that. Well, we've always heard this chat about, is he really interested in football? Is golf his passion really? That he's earned enough money, he can just retire. Could you really see that happening?
I couldn't until you mentioned the fact that he's looking to negotiate a deal with Real Madrid.
You mean the plotting?
Yeah, the plotting. Because if you want to retire, if you're no longer interested in football, but you're on 300-400 grand a week for another year, why would you retire? Why would you not just go back, sit, get your money, and then do what you want to do after that? But listen, he's had a tough time in Spain. He's come back to England. He's hit double figures. He's proved to everyone that he can still do it. Is that enough for him? Is that enough? Will he do the Euros, hopefully have a good Euros and say, right, that's me done. I'm going to retire on a golf course somewhere?
He can't retire.
You were shocked
He's not.
when I even mooted
Stop
this.
it.
No.
It can't happen. I understand totally that he's financially secure. I get all that side of it. But come on, man. You got to... I know I went the other extreme. I probably went too long, but you got to play as long as you can. You got to love the game.
What's left for him? What's left for him to do?
Enjoyment, man.
But if you believe the rumours, he doesn't enjoy it. Although,
if he doesn't enjoy it, I suppose that's different. But
the abuse he's had in Spain over the last 3 or 4 years, it just sucks all the enjoyment out of the game. So maybe he's thinking, I don't need that anymore. I don't need to go to another club and have to prove myself and be criticised if I'm not scoring. I don't need that in my life.
When he talks about causing chaos as well, I mean, there isn't much
else,
more than saying I'm retiring at 31 years old.
Well, but there could be an angle. You could cause chaos by going back to Madrid.
Yeah.
What, and playing for Madrid?
Mm-hmm.
Could it be possible that the reporting and journalism is 2 + 2? So they've taken that statement and they thought, right, what would cause chaos?
Yeah.
Oh, it's retiring. Let's run a story about Gareth Bale retiring.
What are you saying about the media, Andros?
You're not accusing us of making things up.
You're part of
getting
this setup
things,
now,
sorry.
Andros.
Or getting things wrong.
But what about...
I don't even want to think about it. He's too good a player. I mean, 2 goals at the weekend, good finishes. Well, for me, it would be unbelievably sad. It really would.
Well, obviously, you saw him this season in the Premier League when he's been on loan at Tottenham. What did you make of it? Did he live up to expectation?
Yes. He's obviously wasn't the Gareth Bale that left the Premier League. He is not as explosive as he was because obviously age catches up with everyone. But the way he's changed his game, the way he's now getting into pockets, being more cuter. Obviously, he's got the wand of a left foot. So even though it's not the player that was ripping Maicon to shreds at the San Siro, he's still a top-class player. And that was proven, especially when Ryan Mason came in. He's proven towards the end of the season that he can still do it at the highest level.
The situation with Gareth Bale going back to Real Madrid will be interesting. I know we were speaking yesterday, weren't we, Ali, to Ramon Calderon, the former Real Madrid president, and he was talking about the relationship that Bale has with Zinedine Zidane, which on the outside certainly looks like it's broken down. Whether that can be repaired, we will see over this summer period.
There'd have to be a question mark about that right enough.
Absolutely.
And with Ramon yesterday more or less confirming that.
Yes, exactly.
That there seems to be a problem between Bale and Zidane.
Yeah, but is Zidane going to be there next season?
Well, that was interestingly enough, Ramon said that he thinks he would be.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But with only a year left on his contract then at Real Madrid, I'm not quite sure where you'd value him at right now, but we know, and again, Ramon Calderon mentioned this yesterday, that the financial issues in Spain are huge, and we know a lot of clubs obviously have been affected by the pandemic over here as anywhere. Is this the opportunity then for Real to cash in on him? And should they cash in on him?
Well, listen, I'll tell you right now, if they had an opportunity to, I think they would. I don't think there's any doubt about that, Andros. I don't know what you think. I think if Madrid had an opportunity to cash in on him and get him off the wage bill,
I think the wage bill was the big thing. Cashing in, I don't think who's going to spend money on.
This is what I don't. Yeah. This is the next question, isn't it? Who will be prepared to spend that money on Gareth Bale? Now, Tottenham fans, they might think, it's the dream to have him back. Yeah. But then, as we mentioned, you think he's lived up to expectation, but some sort of might not think he has.
Well, I've got to say, I'll tell you where I'm on. I think he's done well, but what has surprised me, probably his lack of game time early on. I've got to say, that was what surprised me, and clearly we weren't privy to the main reasons or the reasons for it. But once you get back into the team towards the end of the season, I think there's some excellent performances and some great goals. Yeah, I think if he's paid up by Real Madrid, there will be teams queuing up at the door. But if there needs to be a transfer fee, it could be a problem.
The change in management, obviously, it probably helped at Tottenham with Jose Mourinho going and Ryan Mason coming in. There were a couple of moments, though, throughout this season with Ryan Mason in charge, and maybe even with Jose Mourinho, if memory serves me right, where they sort of talked about Gareth Bale saying, well, I can't play in that game. I can't play in that game. I'm not fit for that game. I'm not ready for that game. Is that the right attitude you should be having? When you've had the injury history that Gareth Bale's had, then he's, 32, 33? 31. 31. He's had every injury under the sun. He knows his body. So I think that's more professionalism from Gareth Bale to say, right, I've played 90 minutes on Saturday. I don't feel my body can take the Tuesday. Play somebody younger and save me for the last 20, 30 minutes. So for me, that's not a problem at all. It's really interesting you say that, because maybe people that aren't involved within football would look at that and think, well, that's just a bad attitude, isn't it? But you're saying, no, not at all. No, it's the ultimate professional saying, let me rest so I can do my job the next time round. Well, would you rather Gareth Bale, let's say, playing 90 minutes or 60 minutes on a Tuesday night against Aston Villa and picking up an injury and being out for 2 weeks, or would you rather rest him, give, let's say, Steven Bergwijn the chance and save Gareth Bale for another day? Again, there are so many transfer stories, aren't there? Natalie, that's why the man's doing his badges. That's why that man across is. No, he's just another exclusive from Ali McCoist. We hadn't discussed the fact he's doing his badges. It's fine. Sorry, Andros, but the nation needs to know that sounded a very qualified opinion, and I had to give them the reason why it was a qualified opinion, mate. Oh, Andros, I'm sorry. You're thinking I'm never coming into that studio with Ali McCoist again. We have obviously reached out, we should say, here at talkSPORT to Gareth Bale's representatives. Jonathan Barnett has told us the following: sorry, don't speak about rubbish reporting. That's what he's had to say then on this news coming out of Spain that Gareth Bale is set to retire. Of course, Jonathan Barnett has had a habit in the past of saying things that don't turn out to be true, i.e., he didn't say when we asked him about him coming to Tottenham. He said that wasn't going to happen, but obviously it did this season. So take what you want from what Jonathan Barnett has had to say today about Gareth Bale and that speculation of him retiring. But if he does make that decision, Andros, what a career he has had. Oh. Where would he be ranked? When you're talking about the greats in the game. Probably, obviously not alongside your Ronaldos, your Messis and players of that ilk, but definitely under that. For a British player to go overseas, we know that tends not to work out. To go to Real Madrid, to win the trophies, to score in the finals that he's done,
100%. Definitely ranks among the best in Britain for sure.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods. Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.